This month, we're discussing the nervous system. And today, we'll discuss more about the two subsections of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. Last week, we very briefly discussed that the parasympathetic system is the rest and digest system, and that's active when we're relaxed. Digestion takes place during this system. Hormone levels change, our heartbeat slows, and our veins constrict because it is not necessary for blood flow to be rushing anywhere. So that's the rest and digest, or the parasympathetic. The sympathetic nervous system is basically the opposite of all this. It is active when our fight or flight reaction kicks into gear. When we're in fight or flight, stress hormones increase. Our veins dilate so that blood can rush around our bodies so we can run away or fight. The issue is that we are in this system quite often, usually, and a balance of these two systems, the rest and digest, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous systems, are needed for us to be healthy. Now that we've reviewed some of the basics of these two subsystems, let's look at this from the view of a yoga teacher. Do some students rush into class and fling their mat down as they huff and puff because they were running in from their car? I think we've probably all experienced this feeling. I know I have. Whether we're going to a yoga class, a doctor's appointment we were running late for, or simply picking up our kids from school. When we're rushing to get places, we can sort of accidentally kick into that fight or flight mode, even though we're not running from a big scary bear. That's sort of been over time, these changes, depending, of course, on where you live and what you're doing. Maybe you are running from a big scary bear. In that case, that fight or flight is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But if it's kicking on all the time, we need to find a balance, right? So when we begin our yoga practice, it's important to cue in our entire body, not just our muscles, because we are all running around sort of like crazy people, right? And that's just the day and age. So when we do go to shift gears, it's important to cue in our nervous system as well as our musculature system. So typically, I like to start a warm-up with pranayama. I find it helps to center myself and to prepare both mentally and physically for my time of practice. Then I like to start with gentle side bends to warm up the spine and the body. Cat-cow for that spinal flexion and extension. That's another good one. The lateral side bend to put the body in lateral flexion. Twists. Of course, we want to build up before we really engage in any poses that involve a lot of balance or really deep openings. And of course, find balance. But I just really think the warm-up sometimes gets underestimated. And I think that ties in really well to the nervous systems and how we can help our body find some balance, find some homeostasis through our yoga practice.